Hi BookTube, I'm here with a review of a book you might know called Night Film by Marisha Pessl. This is about a journalist who's trying to discover the identity of this mysterious cult horror film director after his daughter dies. It's marketed as interactive with web pages, pictures, news articles, that kind of thing. First of all, I really don't think Marisha Pessl has ever seen a truly disturbing and unsettling movie, because her plot descriptions of these movies that this director is doing aren't at all disturbing. They're not underground or even interesting to me. You know, a few movies I recommend if you should ever watch this, I don't know why, would be Mother, The Ritual, 120 Days of Sodom, Funny Games. Those movies are very disturbing and unsettling. Second of all, this is supposed to be a mystery, but it's a very sad excuse for mystery, because it's basically just one clue leads to another clue, leads to another clue, with not a whole lot of work. And then all the characters just kind of spill their guts without any prompt, and he just kind of takes them at face value. I also have a lot of problems with the writing. I'm not even going to go into the italics issue, which is astounding. I'm going to go into that fundamental writing rule. Show, don't tell. She does a whole lot of telling and a whole lot of not supporting that telling with showing. Telling is okay if you can support it with the showing, but she doesn't. For example, there's this character that she says talks in a certain way, and when that character talks, he does not talk in that way. I'm just like, why'd you even bother with that paragraph? It's also full of people telling things that happened, and they're talking, but they're talking as if they're reading a script or something. They're not talking as real people talked. Another thing I found that she did was she constantly insulted her readers. She doesn't trust them to remember things that happened 20 or 100 pages ago and reiterates things over and over again, or actually explains things in parentheses, which was really annoying. She lays out these really cool metaphors, but then completely ruins it by explaining them as if she doesn't trust the reader to get them, or to know how to work Google to find out if they don't know. It's full of cliches as well, like the magic of New York, or stupid questions, stupid cliche questions like, how long had I been lying here? Hours? Days? Who knows? Like, seriously? And this whole thing about how artists need darkness. I mean, are you still 12? Is that still deep to you? It's been there, done that. Can we move on, please, to this atmosphere that you're trying to build but completely failing at? And let me tell you about the main character. She tells us repeatedly that he cares about his daughter, but his actions completely disregard that. He drops her as soon as she becomes an inconvenience. He has to go chase a lead, totally leaves the daughter. He doesn't fight his wife when she denies him visitation, and completely forgets about her when he's listing his reasons to keep on living in the first place. So I felt like, why did she even introduce this character as a daughter, except for at one point she worked as a plot device. And I usually like unlikable characters, but he was not well done at all. He was racist, sexist, and homophobic, all without a point for any of that. He dealt in stereotypes, and her writing dealt in stereotypes. She had the Hispanic maid with religious superstitions, the mystical Asian, and the character's internal dialogue at that point mentions the Great Wall, flip-flops, and eating cats and dogs. Like, and it didn't add anything to the text. I was like, why are you doing that? And then she had this Jamaican cab driver who obviously had gold teeth and smelled like ganja. First of all, just like, that term, is that term still used? Like, I don't know. And then she had bad guys with deformities, a scary house built on the ancient burial ground. And there's one point where he goes to a nightclub that is for men only, and then makes this really disturbing comments upon discovering that what he perceived as attractive cis women are actually trans women. And even at one point says a poor sucker is going to get crying gamed. Wow, like, when was this book written? It was written in the 2000s. Like, why aren't you aware of these issues and how problematic they are, and why are you writing them when they add nothing to the story? And this isn't to mention the misogyny. He'll make blanket statements like, this meant because she was a woman, she probably already had the discussion umpteen times in her head. What was the point in doing that? Or the bizarre black box of feminine behavior that defied explanation. And this is a woman writer writing these things. Just pointless things were kept being added to this. And I read it because I kept thinking, the reveal has to pay off. The reveal has to pay off. And it didn't. And I was just so very, very disappointed and let down that I wasted so much time on this piece of junk. Let me know what you, like, what redeeming qualities, why this book was so well loved when it came out, because I'm not seeing it. I'm really not seeing it here.